6:15 in the morning. It's 43 degrees outside here in Florida, Orlando. Some of the coldest weather we get, but it's going to start warming up again here shortly. Luckily, it's still going to get up into the 60s today. I'm in the church parking lot. Let's get the day started. So quiet. So every Thursday, I meet at the church with the men's accountability group. We go over leadership principles. We go book to book, study the word, come together, good 20-25 men, keeping each other accountable as we grow towards God, continuing to focus on that, putting God first. So that's why even in the morning, I've got up, made my children lunches, got everything ready so my wife can get up and not have an issue when it's ready to take the kids to school. That's how you start the day out, right? Start in the Word, praying, God first. Here we go. So this morning, leadership. Spent some time at the church. Have a great crew that are John Maxwell Leadership Qualified that are teaching some lessons. We are walking through Everyone Communicates But Few Connect, focusing on 2 chapters, actually a class. So it's the 3rd class in a row. My camera's falling again. All right. Where was I? We are on Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. We're doing 2 chapters of class. I'm kind of separated by 2 sections, trying to finish it up in 5 weeks. It is the program that we're doing. Today we covered connecting goes beyond words. Such a great point of talking about communication style, right? Putting emotion into what we talk about, putting in hands gestures, facial gestures. One of the statistics they gave is that what we say accounts only for 7% of what is believed. So 7% of what we say is believed. The way we say it, how we say it, is 38%. And what others see accounts for 55%. That means what we say is very minimal, right? 93% of what is going on received by the other person has nothing to do with the words that we use. What they see, the way we say it, so our hands gestures, our facial expressions, the way our mouth is, our eye contact with the person, how we communicate. Do we seem relatable? Do we seem passionate? Is there emotion involved in the situation? Or are we cold, robotic? Speaking of simple things, all you have to do is spend less than you bring in, and you will get out of debt. Right? Something so simple as that, right? Do you balance your books? Do you make a budget every month? Do you account for where your money is going out instead of wondering where that money went at the end of the month? Or do you have a plan? Right? Saying things with emotions can give it so much more. We covered 7 connectors do the different work of keeping it simple. So a person who connects with their audience. Of course, I'm here making YouTube videos. Am I connecting with you? I teach classes on Mondays. Forgotten the 12 steps. Am I connecting with the people that attends my class? And I also teach Royal Rangers 5th graders on Wednesday. So how am I communicating? Are they connecting with me? A great thing I heard this weekend is actually getting on common ground with the people you're communicating. Not on their level, right? And that was a key point, right? Some people are like, oh, even a saying is don't stoop to that level, right? We're not trying to bring ourselves to their level, right? That's derogatory. But we're trying to get on common ground so that we both understand what is going on. The person that's receiving the information and the person is communicating it. And it's more on the person who's giving the information, it's on my responsibility to communicate in a way that the person I'm talking to is able to receive it. Of course, keep it simple. Say it slowly and have a smile. Okay, I was totally wrong. We are on 8. Connectors create an experience everyone enjoys. Connectors create an experience everyone enjoys. Take responsibility for your listeners. Not a bad crowd. Oh, it was a tough crowd. No. Take responsibility. Did you set the crowd up? Did you actually prepare? Did you give it in a way that they would receive it? Of course, regions, times of day, the type of audience that you're trying to deliver your content to is important. So if I'm trying to talk to the youth, and I keep using idioms, or I'm talking about things that may not relate to them at all, it is going to be hard for them to understand me. Maybe even a subject matter for young people may not. If I mentioned budgeting earlier, young people definitely probably are not into financial numbers or not into budgeting, even though it's something they need to learn. So as parents, as adults, we need to be communicating budgeting information to our youth. That way that they're prepared as they go into college, out of high school, on managing money and not just getting into bunches of debt, getting credit cards, racking them up, but understanding budgeting. I hear it all the time with people my age. Are like, oh, my parents never taught me about money. I didn't know what to do. My parents never taught us. But they don't take that click and say, okay, well, I need to learn about money and teach my kids. They think, well, they should teach that in schools. They should teach things. They don't teach kids in school how to do taxes. Well, no, they don't. Okay, you're a parent. You have children. Take responsibility for your children and teach them what they should. Think about the things you wish you knew as a child or as you were coming out of adolescence into adulthood that you didn't know. Learn it well, and teach it to your children. So that way they won't say, my parents never taught it to me. Communication in the real world, right, is different. People don't remember what we think is important, right? What I think is important, communicating to you. You're not going to remember what I think is important. You're going to remember what you think is important. Right? And so that is a key thing. That's the way it really happened. And I can have all these laid out plans. I can have certain things that I think are key points, that would benefit you or whoever I'm talking to, but it doesn't really matter what I think. So am I connecting with you? Do I know my audience? And then in the end, you guys are going to remember what you think is important, not what I think is important. So I'm going to stop there. It's a great time. I love that I'm able to come together with other leaders from my church, just lay people, right? We're not all pastors or key necessarily people, right? But we are throughout the church. We're volunteers, we're workers. Some people work for the church, others people's spouses work for the church, and there are some pastors there, of course. But we're coming together and learning together, keeping each other accountable, coming to God, praying, learning about God, and not being stagnant in our walk with God. Even some of them are older. I'm middle-aged, I guess, so in that process I want to learn. I want to continue to learn. I want to refine my abilities for God so he can use me in the kingdom, and continuing that, right? Not being stagnant and thinking I know everything, but going out, learning, continuing to do that so that I can impact the world for the kingdom of God in a positive manner. With that, I just want to say, like, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions, and I appreciate you coming and watching these videos in my learning journey as I continue to make YouTube videos of this Vlogmas month of December. Of course, December, Jesus is the reason for the season, and Christmas is coming up, and we're so thankful for that God loved us so much that he sent his only son, that if we only believe in him, that we may be saved. God bless you. Get it?